Well, I heard something this past week about breathing, and it really doesn't have a lot to do with run. This wasn't in a running context.
But it has a lot to do with it.
Yes, it was very, very instructive. So when we become stressed, and of course running makes us stressed, hopefully in a good way, but it does stress us, then our breathing is impacted when we're stressful. And what happens is when we get stressed, we breathe more shallow. Just it's an automatic reaction. As a matter of fact, one of the things that we do is that studies show that every time we pick up our cell phone, our breathing gets shallower. Isn't that interesting?
That's alarming.
It is, but it's true. Right. So here's some things that you can do. There's a couple of different techniques out there, and frankly, I'm not sure that it matters. There's studies that show both can be effective, but I just want to give us two different things that you can do. One is called the 2-to-1 breathing technique, and what that does is it helps to trigger the right nervous system. So your nervous system, whenever you get nervous, whenever you start to run, whenever things start to go bad, whenever you hear bad news, whenever you pick up that cell phone, whatever it is, your parasympathetic nervous system is triggered, and it causes you to breathe shallower. So what you have to do is change the way that you breathe, and you have to do it intentionally. So what 2-to-1 breathing is breathing in for a period through your nose. Breathe in through your nose for, let's say, 4 seconds. Count to 4 as you breathe in, and then as you breathe out, count to double that number. So if you're breathing in for 4, then you breathe out for 8. So in for 4, out for 8. I challenge you to just do that right now. Just put this on pause and do it, and see if you don't feel better after you do that for about a minute or so. And I guarantee you will. There's also another one that I heard recently. This is what triggered this whole thing, was this technique where you breathe in twice through your nose and then once through your mouth. So it's, and doing that basically does the same thing. It kind of expands your lungs, and it's a relaxing feeling. And so those are two things. So here's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about every time that you pick up your cell phone and you look at your cell phone, I want you to think about this breathing technique. And if you'll do that, you'll keep your breathing under control all day long, because we're all looking at our phone all the time for different reasons. And that would be a good time and a good trigger to do that. And so, yeah, I just thought this was a good practical thing to pass along to folks.
Yeah, it is. And I think kind of the overarching idea behind it, because we've talked about it in the past, don't get too hung up on breathing strategies. You know, breathing in your nose, out your mouth. We always say breathe through whatever the biggest hole is to get the most air, because that's what you need when you're running. But the overarching idea is you can think about it, and you can control that breathing. Whatever way works for you, in your mouth, in your nose, out your mouth. It doesn't matter. The idea, and what I saw yesterday was just getting my breathing under control, and the fact that it's longer breathing exercises, because you're right. What does your body need the most when you're running, especially running hard? You need oxygen. Well, when you breathe shorter, your repetition is speeding up, but you're actually getting less oxygen. So if you can just think about, and it all comes back to the relax. That's right. You know, it's kind of where that relaxing is going to when we say that to runners. Just relax. It's because we can see those shoulders come up, and when your shoulders come up, that means your breathing is getting short.
That's right.
And when you relax, you drop those shoulders. I can feel my lungs right now doing it. You feel those lungs drop, they get longer, and you're just able to relax and run. So yeah, that's a great idea.
Focus on the breathing. Be calm.